as you know, the G20, Startup 20, we have the privilege of having the Shiv right there, the official Startup 20 co-chair for alliances of G20. I think we are doing mini G20, Shiv.
Om Shri Saram. Prayerful pranams to Bhagavan's lotus feet, and thank you for introducing me here. I'll just do a small elevator pitch of what G20 is all about and what Startup 20 does. See, India, while ISF was happening in October here, there was something interesting was happening in Niti Aayog Bhavan. You know that G20 is a second powerful body in the world after United Nations, which caters to the 75% of the world's population, 70% of the world's GDP. So what they say matters to 75% of the people on this planet. So under G20, we have got engagement groups, like, you know, Environment 20, Women 20, Youth 20, like that. For the first time, India, under India's presidency, we mooted an idea called Startup 20. Let startup get a global platform to talk about their successes, concerns, and how to take startups global, right? So, and it was unanimously accepted, and within no time, Startup 20 was formed. Atal Innovation Mission took the lead, and under that, there were several engagement groups. In fact, in these engagement groups, there are 3 groups: Foundation and Alliances, Finance, Inclusion and Sustainability. These are always, you know, compare this with Durga Lakshmi Saraswati, because we need knowledge, because there is no global knowledge of startups. In India, the definition of startup is different. In Europe, it is different. In Singapore, it is different. Where is harmonization? So certain harmonization was required. Then alliances, we need to build multilateral alliances to take startups global for mentor, money, market. And third thing was how to bring finance globally, move the finance across the world, because we need certain platform to do that. And fourth one was the inclusivity. There were many startups, many innovations that were done by tribals, okay, who do not understand English. How do they pitch? Right? We have a couple of tribal startups in the East Godavari district. I know the problems. There are underrepresented communities, indigenous people. They don't have representation anywhere. So where do you take them? So, you know, he was talking about, Sadhguru was talking about family, but this exclusivity. We have to bring inclusivity, value system into this. Finally, sustainability. Now every startup says he's a sustainability startup, because some startup will provide an employment, but that is not intentionality. So SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, have to be intentional, ingrained in the value system of the startup ethos, like, right? So the sustainability should take the precedence over money making. Money should come, but that should be the priority, right? So dharma should come, followed by karma. That's what, you know, when I say this entire design of Startup 20, I see the Indian ethos reflected in that. And I'll summarize in 5 outcomes, 5-6 outcomes, very interesting outcomes. One is, this is the first global platform for startups. We had WHO for health, ILO for labor, then what's for startups? So this is going to be that. Second one is a harmonization of startup definitions and glossary and that kind of book. So we may expect some dictionary soon. and next one is there was a consensus commitment of USD 1 trillion from all the G20 countries to be invested in startups by 2030 in phases. And for those startups that are working for solving sustainability, okay? But how do we know what is sustainable, right? So we are also trying to bring a framework which will, a certain template, I don't say it's perfect, work in progress, where a startup can be defined, is it sustainable SDG-oriented startup or business or profit-oriented startup. So when you do that kind of such things, these are all experimentation we are trying to do. And one of the spillout that came from this G20, Startup 20 was, you see a lot of startups, many startups have some shady businesses and some kind of mismanagement of finances. So for few, many are getting punishment globally. So for that, it's called Governance Framework for Startups, which is led by Mr. Ramanan, former mission director of Atal Innovation Mission. So with the help of different lawyers, attorneys, industries, NASCOM, they came with a framework. It's a very good framework. You should read in the website. It's open. Next one. See, we are talking about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, but in Startup 20, there was no Africa. Why? So recently, our Prime Minister also mooted this idea, bring Africa into Startup 20, so or G20. So that's how we become one family. So this reflection of Startup 20, and luckily the next president will be Brazil, and they have given a consensus that they are going to take the value system and the operationals and such things forward. So we hope to see that startups have a good time ahead, and with all your efforts and the blessings of the divine, startups will really do good for them, for the country, and for the entire life on the planet. So thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Mr. Uday Aretti, Ms. Lubna,